Hey lovelies, thanks for stopping by my channel. Today we are going to be playing with a little bit of NATASHA DENONA, and no, it's not eyeshadow. I did grab the new Puff Paint liquid blushes. I am really pumped to try out these serum blushes because of two things. Well, maybe three things. If you know me, you know that I really enjoy NATASHA DENONA makeup. If you know me, you know I really love cream blushes. And if you know me, you know I've been struggling with dry skin recently. And I was watching a NATASHA DENONA, I think it was actually in her stories, but she was talking about how the ingredients in these blushes are very good if you have dry skin. They're very nourishing, which I thought would be really good to be able to try out. These are supposed to be able to be used on your lips, eyes, and cheeks. I'm also going to take a moment to pull out any cream blushes that I feel might have a similar texture, a similar shade, so that you guys can compare and see if you want any of these in your collection. So why don't we jump right into this? All right, here are some of the details on these blushes. So here are the boxes. This is the way that they come. I do have all three shades. I'm going to tell you right off the bat that I'm only going to be applying 2 of these because I'm going to put one of them in a future giveaway. Now, the day that these launched, I honestly could not decide which shades I wanted to get. And since they offered a little bit of a discount, I decided to grab all 3, but looking in my collection and just knowing what I really like, I decided I would keep Daria and hand it off in a future giveaway. So this shade is something that I feel like I could very likely dupe in my collection, and I don't need more of the same. And also, I just feel like it's not colors that I always go towards. This shade is more of that like sweet soft pink, I would say. I will go ahead and pop up the NATASHA DENONA swatches. So this one will be going in a future giveaway. Make sure you're subscribed so you can catch that one in the future, but we will be working with these 2 today, which I think I'm really going to enjoy. Now, these blushes are $22 a piece, and they are 7 milliliters or 0.23 fluid ounces. Now, at the end of this video, I will just go ahead and pop up my little price per ounce for you guys so that you can see the price of these liquid blushes versus a couple other brands, just in case that's important to you. I am going to be very curious to try these compared to the Lisa Eldridge cream blushes that are coming out very soon, as in tomorrow. They're coming out tomorrow. I'm planning on snagging a couple along with some other things, so I will definitely be comparing those in the future. But like I said, that's a future video. All right, I'm very excited to get into these. Like I said, we are going to be using them on the eyes, the lips, and the cheeks. Now, I'm sure you guys have seen these all over the beauty space already, but here we have the packaging for you. Now, this is the shade Bloom, and this is Tan. NATASHA said that these were really curated off of some of the favorites in her other blushes. Like, for instance, Bloom is the cream product in one of her quads. So I thought that was really interesting to be sort of pulling in shades that you know that people like in a different formula. So why don't we get into popping these on our face? Now, obviously I threw a little makeup on already. I do have foundation on, if you're curious. It's the MAC Face and Body and the MAC Studio Water Weight combined, and then mostly just for the color, by the way. And then I went through with my Oma Woke concealer and then just lightly powdered. So that's gonna be what we're starting with. I didn't want to put any bronzer on yet because I wanted you to see the color just straight on my cheeks. All right, now this is a very much first impressions video with you guys. I just got home from work last night and these were sitting at my doorstep, so I'm very excited to be trying them with you. But this is by no means a full review. This is definitely more of that first impressions, but I just couldn't wait to get these on my face. So I'm gonna swatch these on my hand for you. These look very nice. Now, the name Puff Paint, I mean, I think there's like definitely a nostalgia there that maybe NATASHA was going towards. Like, I remember Puff Paint, like decorating our sweaters and stuff with Puff Paint. But I would think the name Puff Paint would go with like maybe something that's more like moussey textured, but these are definitely more liquidy. So of course you have Bloom here and then Tan. I will be very curious to see how these sheer and how they build. I mean, like this tan color, I have to be honest, right off the bat, I would think that the only one, and I know that NATASHA put up pictures on different skin tones, but I just feel like this is definitely, the colors that are here definitely aren't for like all skin tones. And I could be wrong. We'll see when I apply if I find that these are very, very saturated colors. Maybe I'm wrong. Like this one I feel like is going to be the only one that shows up like a really flushed cheek on deeper skin tones. I would feel like this one and then the Daria shade as well. It's almost like that like pastel-y tone. And I do think because these are liquidy, and they seem to have like a nice bit of moisture to them. Maybe they won't look like chalky on the skin. Now I'm gonna do a little searching around to see who I can find that has a different skin tone than mine, who has reviewed this video, and I will be popping a couple videos down in the description bar for you guys, so you can check those out as well. But let's go ahead and start with tan. Now Natasha did say that she felt like the most easy and effortless way to use these would be with a brush. So I'm just gonna go through with my 05 brush from the Spectrum and Katie Jane Hughes set. I was actually like really curious about this shade because this is such a neutral, this is such a neutral shade for me, but I thought it could be that really like quick, you know, no thought needed, goes with any look kind of feel. It's pretty. It's almost like a peachy tan. It's not so tan that like it's like brownie tone or even like a caramel tone. It definitely has that like peachy undertone. So I'm gonna see how much I can build it here, and then maybe we'll try our finger. So as I'm blending this in, Natasha says that this is a silky liquid blush serum hybrid with perfect pigmentation to achieve an easy, soft, natural flush of color. Quick and healthy look in a bottle, formulated with skincare infusion technology to give you the best of both worlds. That is very nice. And also, as I'm reading here, Natasha does describe the shade as a peachy tan. So there you go. It is vegan, oil-free, mineral oil-free, cruelty-free, paraben-free, and this formula is made in Italy, in case that's important to you. So I feel like this is a satin look. Like it's not overly dewy, but it's not gonna dry down to matte, which makes me feel happy, especially if you're gonna be someone who wants to wear this on your lips. Like, I'm honestly very frightened to put this color on my lips, but I'm going to do it so that you guys can see it. But I'm like, oh God, if these are like matte blushes, I don't want to throw that on my lips. You guys know I don't love a matte color. By the way, I do have a little bit of balm on my lips, so I'm going to remove that quickly so we can throw this on and see what we think. Now, here is the dough applicator, which I probably should have shown you earlier in the video, but this is definitely a dough foot that would make it fairly easy to put on your lips. Because I don't really plan on putting this on my lips that often, and I feel weird putting something on my lip and then throwing it on my cheek, I'm just gonna use my finger. I will say I very rarely go towards peachy tan colors on my lips. If I'm going to do a nude lip, I usually steer towards like a pinky nude lip, just because my lips are so pigmented that, now while I feel like if I put some lip liner on with this, this would be a fine color if that's your jam. These types of tones aren't necessarily my jam, but it would work fine. It is a sheer lip color, which honestly with this color I would want. Otherwise I feel like it would be like, not only am I wearing concealer lips, but I have the wrong shade of concealer lips. But this is, I mean, it's pretty. It is, yeah, I would say it's definitely more of that like satin. It's definitely not creamy, but it's not super matte either. So let's go ahead and throw this on the eyes. I am gonna do both of my eyes. Sorry guys, I have to go to work after this and I don't want to go like half and half, and I figure I can make two colors of blush work by just sort of like mixing them together later, but I don't want one berry eye and one tan eye. So if you are someone that likes a good like quick makeup look, if you like a monochromatic vibe, I think that this would be a nice product. It's certainly not like the most innovative. It's not like this is the first all over the face product. I mean, hello, you guys know I love the Danessa Myricks Color Fix, and those are something that you can use everywhere. Very different, like totally different formula. I mean, these are a little bit more sheer, not a little bit, a very, a very lot sheerer. Wow, can you tell I'm only a half a cup of coffee in? These are much more sheer. But you know, it's kind of that same vibe where you can still use it all over. This is just that like quick and effortless product. Now I did have a bit of concealer on my eyelids before, so I do feel like in blending this out, it did sort of like merge a little bit with the concealer. So not like merge, like I feel like I don't have as much coverage on my eyelid anymore just because of that like serum consistency of this blush. I do feel like if I want like complete coverage over my eyelid, I would probably want to lay down like an eye primer first and then just tap this over the top and not buff it in. But I'm actually planning on throwing a bit of powder shadow over this when we're all done. So no worries there, but I did want to show you what this color looks like. So again, this is like 2 layers built up. You guys see what I'm saying here? Like, they show it on the model, but I don't feel like it's really gonna show up that much on a darker skinned model. I mean, this, even on me, I'm really curious. I want to like build a little bit more with this. Especially now that it's like, you know, settled in a bit. I'm honestly preferring this with a brush. I just feel like it gives a little bit more blurred feel. And again, like if you are medium skinned or deep skinned and you have to use like 4 or 5 coats, if you will, to build up the color to the place that you like, I don't know that this is necessarily a very cost-effective product, but that's that. I'm very quickly just gonna put this on the other eye and then we'll move on to trying Bloom on our cheek and lips. All right, I do have to say, this is like, it takes like 30 seconds to blend into the eye. It's very effortless. Now the shade also is obviously a very effortless shade to throw on. I did just use the Fenty 200 eyeshadow brush and easy peasy. The only thing I will be curious about, and that's why I wanted to get this on the eyes so that we have some time while we're playing with the lips and cheeks, to see how this texture does on the eye, because it doesn't completely dry down. It's not like tacky, but it's moist, if that, like, it just has that hydrated feel to it. So I don't know, especially if you have oily lids, I would stay away from this like already, but I would just be curious how this is going to wear. So anyway, let's move on into Bloom. You guys know I really love a good like pop and cheek color, so I'm very excited to try this one, and of course we'll try it on our lips as well. Yeah, this color has definitely a bit more pigment to it, and by a bit I mean a lot more. I already have a product in my collection that I feel like the color is going to be very close to, so we will have to see once we get to that point. You have to work pretty quickly sometimes with these serum products if you dab them on, because that little like dab sometimes can stay and you just look like you have like, you know, little marks on your face. So if you are going to use the applicator like I did, just very quickly make sure you grab a brush or throw your finger into it. Otherwise you can pop some onto your finger and then you've got a little bit of like a whiter surface area to be sort of applying that product with. But this is pretty. It does just give that like flush. I almost feel like it has, this one I don't notice that with, but here, and I've got a bit more like acne scarring, but I feel like it almost has like a radiance to it. Like it's not sparkly, but it's definitely giving me that like glow, and I don't think that you guys can see that. Okay, I just zoomed you in just a little bit more so that you could see this, but I don't know how to explain it. I just feel like over the like curve of my cheek, I just see a bit brighter pink. It's very pretty. I think that this color, if you wear it really sheer, could be a very pretty wash over the eye. Again, probably not if you have oily skin, but now I'm really excited to try this color on my lips. All right, so let's try not to get this everywhere. And I'm going to leave this one on, and I'll be able to tell you guys like how I feel about the wear time, if it left a little bit of a stain. So there's Bloom on the lips. It's very, very, very comfortable. I think if this is a product that like leaves just a bit of a stain, that would be really nice, because it's just so natural. Like to me, this just looks like a very healthy, youthful lip, and it's not dry, it's not sticky. I'll be very interested to see how this wears. If you don't like that just like more natural feel, you could always like add a lip liner and really have a very crisp outline. But I don't think that that's like, I don't think that that's probably the vibe of this product. I mean, when you have like a serum-y product, it's definitely more for that like almost blurred feel. I really like this shade. I knew I was probably gonna prefer this shade. This is not a shade that I would ever wear on my lips. I mostly did it for you guys, but I'm definitely happy with the vibe here. So I think what I will do is, why don't I go ahead and I'm gonna try to just like dab a little bit of both of these colors on the opposite cheek to kind of like blend in. I'm gonna finish up my eye makeup and I will come back so we can see how the lips have worn. And of course we'll do some swatch comparisons, and then also I'll break down price per ounce for you guys. Now I thought it was only fitting, and since we kind of had this like berry cheek and lip going on, I pulled out the Natasha Denona Sunset palette. No, I didn't. I pulled out the Natasha Denona Sunrise palette. Wow. I do that all the time. So Sunrise palette, I just went through with 3 of the shades. Of course, I just blew out Morgan all over my lid just because that was like, I feel like an amped up version of this tan. I mean, obviously it's much more peachy, but I do want to let you guys know though, I was already getting quite a bit of creasing. Now that could have been from the concealer that I was using on my eyelids. Like I said, I think that if you're going to use a serum-y hydrating product on your eyes, you're going to want to make sure that you have a really good primer set down. This is not a product that I will ever use on my eyes, I don't think. But if you are that person that you don't mind like having to go back in and like tap your eyeshadow in place, I know there are those people, that's something that you could do. It won't be for me, but I do really love it on the cheeks. I did not add any highlighter to my face just because I think that this glow is really nice, and I'm about to go to work and throw a mask on in a little bit anyway, so there's really no need. Okay, back into the eyes. After Morgan, I just tapped a little bit of Awakening on my lid and then threw a little bit of, what was it, Laurel, right into the inner corner. So that's pretty much it. Very quick and easy, but I do really love these tones. I am still really liking this color on my lips. Immediately after I signed off before, I did take a sip of my coffee, and of course just got the tiniest bit of transfer, but I mean, now I'm not getting anything. Obviously that big splotch is from my swatches before, but this is just dried down to like that really nice like light stain feel. I will say my lips feel a little bit drier, and honestly that could be because I rubbed at them with that towel when I was taking this one off, but I will definitely be interested to try this as more like a lip tint again. So on the lips and on the cheeks, I think I'll really use this. I really like the way that this looks. It still feels not tacky, but it definitely feels like hydrated. It feels like I put more moisturizer on my face, and I am totally down for that. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'm like peeling here. My eyebrows are peeling. I've been like really trying to like get back on the retinol train. I took a little time off, and that's exactly what you don't want to do. You gotta like let your skin acclimate, and I sort of like, I gave in to weakness. So now I'm trying to like get back into it. Anyway, why don't I go ahead and show you some swatches of these two so we can compare. All right, here I am with some Crooked swatches. I was trying to place them on to be able to show you guys, and if it's straight for me, it's crooked for you guys. That was dumb. So here we have the Natasha Denona Tan. The closest one that I found was the Blush Bomb from Flower in Pinched. Now they definitely have a bit of a different finish. I would actually say that the Flower are going to be a little bit more dewy. Now right below that we have the Nude Stick shade in Sunkissed. This is one of the matte, I believe. Yeah, this is the Nude Stick Nudes. And then after that is the Glossier Cloud Paint in Beam. We have another Nude Sticks. This is one of the nudies, so it's the like more glossy ones. That's Sweet Peach Peony. And then the last one is the Jason Wu Hot Fluff in Eclair. So I definitely think that Flower Beauty one is going to be the closest. It's just a little bit peachier and not quite as deep, but I'm excited because I really don't have anything that's this like nude in my collection that's like this tan, and like I said, I think that that's going to be a really great way to warm up the face. I actually feel like I like the combination of using the two together. When I did the tan and then just popped the bloom over the top, it really gave it like a multi-dimensional flush. Like I felt like the tan gave me a little bit of color, and then just like pinpointing that bloom over the top was really nice. And I'm sorry, I feel like that I look pretty dark right now, but I mostly wanted to give you true swatches of my arm. So the lighting is a little bit different for what's on my face. Now let's go ahead and pull out some comparisons for Bloom. Okay, I did it on the other side and I still got them crooked. What can I say? So here we have Bloom, and the closest one, which is the one that I thought about right away, is this Rare Beauty one. This is the Nearly Berry. So different textures, but such similar colors. And honestly, I think that they perform on the face very similarly because they like blend out into that more like sheer color. I don't know how to explain it. I just feel like they have a very similar finish on the face. This next one is obviously not the same at all. This is Spice from Salt, New York. This one again, not the same at all. This one, I was like, the cap does not look anything like what it is, and I've only used this a couple times. This is the Ilia Color Haze, and this is in Before Today. Then we have Cranberry from Salt, New York. This one's definitely more warm. So this one is pretty close as well as far as tone goes, but this one's more vibrant, like it's got a bit more brightness to it. And this is the LYS Satin Blush, is that what it is? But it's Passion. So I would say that this one is pretty close. This one is also fairly close, but a little bit brighter. So there are some options for you there. All right, I am sorry for the quality of my swatches, but hopefully that gave you some options. You can look in your collection, see if you have anything like this, see if you wanted to pick up one of these shades. And I hope that you guys understand that I'm not going to be swatching this one for you guys. Honestly, I have just told myself that I would not buy makeup that I was just going to have for my channel. Like, I would not buy things that I would simply just be like, oh, here it is, and then it would sit in my drawer forever. That is so wasteful. I would much rather buy it and then pass it off to one of you. So like I said, that will be going in a future giveaway. I think it'll probably go into my Instagram giveaway. I'm gonna do one once I hit 1K on Instagram. You guys know that I just recently hit 1K here on YouTube. And by the way, that giveaway is still coming. Honestly, I just got everything corralled for that giveaway the other night. And so I'm very excited. I will be doing a live to share with all of you what is in the giveaway, what you have to do to enter the giveaway, and that one is coming soon. But that blush is probably going into my Instagram giveaway. At any rate, like I said, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I will let you know how this wears. I do feel like I would definitely want something like a gloss, a balm. Actually, maybe we should just go ahead and see what it's like if we put a balm over the top. Why don't we just go ahead and do that? I'm just gonna pull out the fresh rose balm here so we can like throw this on over the top. Oh, that already feels so much better, but I just needed a little hydration. So you guys know I have very dry lips, but I do think that I could see using this on my lips. It's such a pretty color and so pretty on the cheeks. I am very excited to have both of these for the cheeks. I don't regret this purchase at all. I will, of course, let you guys know in the future, maybe in a review roundup video, how I've been enjoying these. I'm hoping to get this edited and up ASAP for all of you, but in the future, I will definitely give you any more details that I find about this as I use it. I want to thank you guys for watching. I am going to now pop up that screen showing you the price browns comparison. I think what I'll do is take a couple of the ones that were comparative shades in case you do have those in your collection or you're thinking about getting those. I hope you know how much I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for taking some of your time out of your day to spend it with me. Until next time, that's it. I'll see you really soon.